In this video, we are going to complete exercise 2 called Extrude Boss and Extrude Cut in chapter 3. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to click part because we want to create a new part. And then we want to format our units. So we're going to go down here and click IPS and go to Edit Document Settings. All right, and we are going to make sure the drafting standard is ANSI. And the reason we're using ANSI is because it says it's in inches, so we want to use ANSI for the most part when we're talking about inches. And then we're going to go to dimensions, and it says dimensions are in inches, and the precision is 3 decimal places. So here's 3, and go to units, and again, make sure it's in the inches with 3 decimals. Okay, if not, you can click this down arrow and select the correct number of units. Okay, then we're going to click OK. So we formatted our units, and the next thing we are going to do is we are going to save our drawing. So you can click Save here. And then you can save this as just usually it's just your first initial, last name, underscore, then the name of the assignment. So extrude boss and extrude cut. However, you're not submitting this, so you can actually submit oh yes, you are submitting it. I'm sorry about that. Okay, so it's going to be your first letter of your name and then last name underscore the name of the assignment, and then save. And you want to make sure to save while you're completing this example or exercise. Okay, so the first step in the book is to create the base sketch, and we're going to create it on the front plane. So over here, just click on front plane and then click sketch. And then we are going to rough sketch the design. Don't worry about dimensions yet or relations. We'll add those next. So it says the origin is at the top. If you are using a mouse, which I highly recommend, if you scroll your mouse up, it will zoom out. And if you scroll it in, it will zoom in. And just note again, to pan, you just hold Control on your keyboard and hold the mouse, hold the wheel and the mouse down and move right and left at the same time. All right, so let's do the line. And the origin is at the top, so click the origin, and that's creating a coincident relations automatically, so click that. And then we'll just start rough drawing this design. If I click now, we'll automatically create a vertical constraint because I can see that in that yellow box, the vertical constraint symbol. Okay, so click there and just rough sketch this. It's okay if it's not perfect. I'm going to add in all of these horizontal and vertical constraints as well while I'm sketching. Okay. All right, escape. And it's a purple color, meaning that you've created a closed profile, which is what you have to have in order to add that extrude feature. It needs to be a closed profile. And then I'm going to hit check mark there. I'm going to hit escape to end that command. You can see that we still have all of these underdefined lines in blue, and these are fully defined in black there. So let's start adding let's first add our relation. So I'm going to click this down arrow and click add a relation. And it says that these 2 lines right there are parallel with one another. And then click check. Usually it's best to add relations first and then add dimensions. So we added those relations. If you want to see your relations, you can show them by clicking in the heads up toolbar, the down arrow next to the eye, and then displaying your relations, and you can see them all. I'm going to turn mine off though. Now I'm going to go over here and click Smart Dimensions and start adding the dimensions like in the book. I'm going to add just these horizontal ones first. So I'm going to click from this point to this point, and then click again is going to be 1.5, enter. And then if you did that incorrectly, you can just click on the dimension and edit the dimension while you're in the Smart Dimension command. All right, then I'm just going to click outside of that command, and then I'll add the 3.5. So from this line to this line is going to be 3.5, enter. And then from, let's see, this one to this line is going to be 1. From here to this point is going to be 2. And from this bottom line to this point is going to be 3. I'm just following the book. Okay, and then from this top horizontal line to this bottom horizontal line is going to be 4. Then from this line to this line is going to be 1, enter. And then this line to this point is going to be 1.75. And then let's see. Oh, and then we need to add the angle. So from this line to this line, that will add the angle, and click there, and that will be 45 degrees. So 45, enter. All right, and then escape, and you can see that in the status bar it says fully defined and all of our lines are black, meaning that we can move on. Now we are going to extrude. So click the Features tab, then click Extruded Boss/Base. The type of extrude is going to be mid-plane, and our depth is going to be 3. And then click here, and you can see this is what it should look like in the graphics window. It gives you a preview, and we're going to click check. Step 2 is to add the through holes. So we're gonna create a sketch on a planar surface instead of these planes that are automatically available for you to use. So just click on this planar surface and then click sketch. If yours doesn't automatically go to this normal view, you can hit Control-8 on your keyboard and it will bring you to this view. All right, and then we're going to add a center line. So click the arrow next to line and click center line. Click the origin and then draw a center line down to the midpoint of this bottom line. In the yellow box, you can see there's that automatic or the midpoint symbol that's automatically created. Then escape. And then I'm going to draw 2 circles. So I'll click the circle command and just draw them anywhere approximately. I'm going to draw it, see that dotted blue line, it means that the center points are going to be horizontal. So click here and then draw it however size that you want. Okay, and then we are going to add a symmetric constraint. So instead of going here and doing the add relations, we are going to just hold Control on our keyboard and click the circle, the center line, and the circle, the other circle. and it will automatically show up in your properties to add a symmetric constraint, and then check. All right. So now these circles are going to be symmetric about this center line here. Then we're going to click Smart Dimension and click the circle and add a 0.5, enter. So the diameter of these two circles are now 0.5. And then you'll click this circle and the other circle, drag down and click, and you're going to add a 1.5 inch dimension between these two circles. All right, awesome. Okay, and then let's see. We still have this underdefined here. Oh, we forgot to add one more dimension. So go to Smart Dimension, sorry, from this line to the center of the circle is going to be 0.70707, enter. All right, now we're fully defined and can move on. So we're going to go to the Features tab, and we are going to click the Extruded Cut right here. And we are going to select the Through All Extruded Cut option, and then click OK, the green check mark. The next step is to add an upper cut. So we're going to click this top face here and click New Sketch. And then we're going to go over here and make sure it's the corner rectangle option is selected. If not, click this down arrow and click corner rectangle. And we're going to draw a rectangle. Just make sure it starts on this edge right here and draw any size or shape. Escape. And then we are going to go over here and draw a center line. So click the arrow and then click center line. Make sure it starts at the origin, and we can say it ends at the midpoint of this edge. It can really be, or this edge, whatever works. Just you want it to be the center line drawn there. Okay. And then we're going to add the symmetric constraint again. So hold down Control on your keyboard and click this line, this center line, and then this line, and click symmetric. Okay. And then we'll add Smart Dimensions. So click Smart Dimensions, click this line, which is going to be 1.25, enter, and then click this line, which is going to be 0.25. Enter. Right, and this one's fully defined. You can hit Control-7 on your keyboard, and it will put your drawing in isometric view. So now we're going to go to the Features tab, go to Extruded Cut, and this condition is going to be up to vertex this time. And our vertex, so make sure this pink box is selected where you specify the vertex. You're going to click on this point here. So make sure there's a little orange dot at this corner. And that means that the extrude will go up to this vertex here. And then we're going to click check. Then we are going to add our lower cut. So to add that, we are going to click on this face here and click sketch. And then we're going to do this all again. So we're going to add another corner rectangle. Just draw anywhere on here. Okay. So click, or when you're drawing it, you'll click this edge, and then click here, escape. And then we're going to add collinear relations and equal relations. We're not actually even going to dimension this line. And so to do that, we're just going to hold down Control on our computer, click this line, and then click this edge here, and then add collinear, check, and then do that again. So hold Control on your keyboard and click this line. Oops. Okay, so that point is selected. I'm going to right click and clear selection. So I'm going to hold Control and only click this line and this line or edge, and then do collinear again, check. All right, and then we're going to make these two, or for the height, we're going to make it equal. So I'll hold Control on your keyboard, click this line and click this edge, and then put equal there and click check. And you can see this is now fully defined down here. Okay, and then we are going to go to Features tab, Extruded Cut, and we're going to do our condition as through all, and then okay. Okay, step 5 is to add fillets. So we are going to, in the Features tab, go to Fillet right here. And we want to add the, let's see here, this type, the constant size fillet. And the parameter that we're going to use for the radius is going to be 0.032. Then click out of that box. Okay, and then we're going to add it to the vertical lines. Okay, so inside of the cut. So click there, and then I want to rotate, or it actually, if you hover over it, will go through there. So you can actually click like that. Okay, or you can actually hold your wheel on your mouse down and move it to the left to rotate, and click there. And then once you have those 4 selected, you are going to click OK. And the last step before saving your work is to add chamfers. So we are going to click the arrow under fillet and click chamfer. And then we are going to, for our distance, it's going to be 0.060. Okay, and then click out of there. And then we want to select the 4 circular edges of the 2 holes. So that'll be right here and right here. And then I'm going to rotate using my mouse's wheel and do this one and this one. And then we are going to click OK. Then I'm going to click my graphics window and hit Control-7 on my keyboard to put in isometric view. Click Save, and this is what you'll submit for this lab.